the fact that some of these rules have been slightly bent or anything like that has shown that there's a willingness on the part of the palace to try and heal any division or rift.
This has been a 10-day mourning period. Do you think that relationships were healed during this time with Harry and his father and Prince William? Have you heard anything about that?
I think you only get one family, and it's really important. So I think there have been a number of olive branches. We've seen the brothers out together, and we've seen them sitting near each other at occasions, and I'm sure they must have talked behind closed doors as well. And there are other things that are coming. So Harry has a book that will arrive at some point soon, which I'm sure is going to be an interesting read. And perhaps we'll see it's already been delayed. If the book is cancelled, maybe that would be another olive branch. We'll see what happens. And I think now is the time. Grief brings families together, and we've seen this coming together. So if it's going to happen, I think now is the best possible chance. We'll see what follows from this, but I think we're in the right place. So we can't judge the future yet, but all the pieces are where they should be, and we'll just have to watch this space. And I think over the coming weeks and months, we'll see very clearly whether there has been a healing or if we're back to the days that we had before.
Right. And, there have been, obviously talks about this slimmed down monarchy, and there have been some reports that this may be the last time that Prince Andrew and Prince Harry will be seen in public on a royal platform. Do you think that will be the case? And have you heard anything about that either?
I think the slimmed down monarchy is an idea that is very important to Charles and the senior royals at the moment. It means a lot to the direction they want to take the monarchy into. So I wouldn't be surprised if a number of royals are not seen at future occasions, and it's not down to anything other than this choice, this conscious choice to modernise the monarchy and to focus on these handful of working royals. There are ministers of state, and they are set down again by protocol, and some of these people will remain ministers of state, which means they can represent the king at occasions, but I don't think you'll see them do that very often. I think it will be focusing squarely on the king and queen consort, the prince and princess of Wales. There may be a few others. I know that the Duke and Duchess of Wessex, for example, other people who I think will be at these charity events and will be at these state occasions. So I don't think it's a judgment really when some of these people will not be seen as often on a change in relationship. I think this is something that was always going to happen, but I think we can say that this is a direction that has been very clearly signposted, marked for a long time, and it's one of those things that will, I think, mean that fewer people working as part of the royal family will mean that we'll come to recognise those working royals very heavily indeed. We'll see them on our televisions, we'll see them opening our hospitals and schools and working at charity events. And so we'll definitely come to know them in great detail.
Yeah. Were you surprised that King Charles released a statement after there was a report that went around that Prince Harry was only told 5 minutes before the public that the Queen had passed? King Charles did release a statement saying that the family was notified before the public was. Do you see King Charles making these statements as like these olive branches? He allowed Prince Harry to wear that military uniform. It seems like he bent the rules a little bit for him. Of course, he was invited then disinvited to this state dinner. So it seems like some progress may have been made.
I think so. I think that there's a lot of speculation going on, and I think some of it comes from half rumours and things that have ran from person to person before anyone's really found the truth. The one thing that I do know is that Harry raced to be by his grandmother's side before she died, and he didn't make it in time, and that must be a crushing thing to have happened. That must be terrible, and I can't imagine how painful that must be. So, I mean, he must have known beforehand, because he wouldn't have been making that journey, I guess, with such speed if he had no awareness. And I'm sure as a close member of the family, he must have been informed at some stage or level. But I think that this conjecture, I think, confuses things a lot. And the only thing we can really look at are the official statements, the times that we see these people in public, and those are the things to watch. I think there are a lot of people who have half a story, and sometimes it just doesn't add up. There are, two or three people all saying two or three different things about the same meeting or anything like that. So there have been these big olive branches. The uniform was another point. There are many times when we've seen that. And so I think those are the things to look at. I think in a previous generation, I don't think we'd have seen any of that at all. So the fact that some of these rules have been slightly bent or anything like that has shown that there's a willingness on the part of the palace to try and heal any division or rift. And then we'll just see how that plays out over the next few months.
For more news content and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.